Hey, how's it going? This might be the last one of these things, unless it isn't. I've recorded with all the weapons at least once now, except I haven't done the shield, and I feel a sense of incompletion not having done that. So I feel like I at least want to do one for the shield. When it comes to shield aspects, I think Chaos is probably the strongest, maybe. Aspect of Zagreus is really strong as well. Just that big bonus to damage, and it including dash strike damage. I think it makes it one of the strongest. Like when it comes to different weapons as Aspect of Zagreus, it's definitely one of the most competitive aspects of Zagreus among the weapons. We're gonna not do either of these. We're gonna do Aspect of Zeus. Aspect of Zeus is a bit fiddly. You get this weird disc thing that you can send out and come back, but it's really strong in that it's a special that it puts out a lot of hits, and it puts them out kind of constantly without too much supervision, as long as you're kind of a bit confident with how to place the shield. So that's got certain advantages. Beowulf is the last one. I like Beowulf a lot, but it's very linear and kind of bad, so I'm probably not going to make a video of it. Let's check the mirror first. Alright, I think, yeah, Abyssal Blood is probably the play here. Ideally, we're going to be getting a lot of our stacks from probably something like Zeus on our shield, because the shield does play very nicely with someone like Zeus on special, since it's putting out so many hits. So we're going to speculate that we might end up with Zeus on our special and take Abyssal Blood, since Boiling Blood won't scale that Zeus damage at all. Not that Boiling Blood would scale normal attack damage either, but you know, basically, you know, we're not ending up in any kind of crit thing or anything like that, I don't think. And things being slowed down will be hopefully easier to keep them in our Blitz Disc AoE. So we're going to go for it. Ares. Okay, Ares on our special is pretty much the last thing we want. Our special does a lot of hits, and Doom does not cooperate well with that at all. There is technically a boon which makes Doom scale with multiple hits, but the scaling is not remotely linear. You know, your first hit does 100, the consecutive ones would be something like 10. So we're gonna ignore that right away. One thing that might be kind of funny is grabbing Slicing Shot and leaning full into the Beyblade plan. It only being a level 1 Slicing Shot does not excite us though. Alternatively, we could grab Curse of Agony. It would be, you know, it works nicely enough for the kind of charge up, dash through plan. So, yeah, I think we're going to just take Curse of Agony on our attack, and just let that be a sort of a crowd control thing, dealing with small enemies that we can't devote so much attention to placing our Blitz Disc on top of, and hopefully still get our primary game plan from the Blitz Disc. Blitz Disc is one that scales, I believe, the damage scales with levels. So when you're working with level 1 Blitz Disc, you're doing the same number of hits with it, but the damage isn't nearly as high. So something like Zeus on it or Dionysus on it maybe is a lot more attractive, whereas when it's fully leveled up, your options with it are quite a bit more broad. Shield was actually it was kind of the first weapon I really got the hang of the game with. You know, I think everyone in Hades, they figure out a weapon and they start thinking, hang on, this is overpowered. I know for a lot of people that's the bow. Never really the bow for me. For me, it turned out to be the shield. I don't think Artemis is really where we want to be. Maybe I would go for Artemis if we did take that Slicing Shot, but that ship has sailed. We'll grab Athena. You're never unhappy to have Athena somewhere. Athena, even in our Blitz disc, could theoretically be interesting, just putting out a lot of deflect stacks. Sounds like it's probably bad, but I'll consider it, depending on what we're offered. But yeah, anyway, the shield, just kind of the ability to charge stuff up and be invulnerable while you're charging up and just dash through and do a bunch of AoE damage. It just seemed ridiculous to me. I just kind of ignore the fact that by my standards today, the kind of damage that you can put out through that kind of build is really very low. You know, at the time, just the ability to defend myself while I was attacking and doing damage to a bunch of guys in an area, those were things I had a lot of trouble with when I first started out, so that's why I really gravitated to the shield early on. I took Phalanx Shot there because I'm still thinking it's very likely I'll end up in Zeus, and Phalanx Shot has a very nice duo with Zeus where it turns into a bouncing attack, which would be another really great sort of a crowd control attack for dealing with, you know, smaller enemies that we don't necessarily have the interest in micromanaging our Blitz disc around on. There's some... Yeah, I'm really not minding this Curse of Pain too much. The damage is not overwhelming, but it's just kind of... It's pretty nice for an attack that... Oh, and we got Natural Zeus, that's great. It's pretty nice for just kind of an attack that we're using to fill the time while we're trying to make things happen with our Blitz disc. I don't think it's gonna bother me. And being in Ares, considering that we know that we want to try and get Zeus, means that we're going to be live for Vengeful Mood, and I'm sure if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I think Vengeful Mood is pretty good. Revenge boons do quite a lot of damage, and being able to trigger them every 3 seconds is pretty incredible. And also gives you access to a bunch of statuses off of your regular, the Purple Thunder Flourish. What more could you ask for? Yeah, those Revenge boons are also giving you access to statuses. Like, you know, you can get Frost on Revenge or Weak on Revenge, and even if you don't have Aphrodite or Demeter allocated to one of your primary slots, you're still getting that status. It's basically, you know, basically free. And if you've got Vengeful Mood, you're not even having to take a hit for it. Really, really good boon. Definitely one that you should be. If not, you know, really trying to force, at least, you know, definitely very happy to encourage in pretty much any build that you're in, as long as it's remotely feasible. You can see that Blitz disc is doing good work here, and Pom Blossom's even leveled it up a bit, so very nice to see there. I don't really remember what the hammer options are like for Aspect of Zeus. I'm inclined to believe that they're probably not much at all, but we'll have to see what they offer us and see if anything looks interesting. I think a lot of the regular hammer boons are kind of invalidated on Blitz disc, so a lot of them end up being... I was going to say a lot of them end up being attack focused, but here we've got 2 special focused ones. Empowering Flight is interesting. We're going to be having a special that's hitting a lot of the time, so Empowering Flight is a lot better on Blitz disc than it is on regular shield. I think that's kind of counteracted by the fact that it's not very good on regular shield, just because I really want to avoid pressing my special button on regular shield as much as I can. It's an awkward button. I basically just use it for applying statuses. It's just not very strong. But yeah, Empowering Flight is definitely more appealing in this circumstance, just kind of a bit of extra free damage on our attack. We want to avoid catching our shield whenever we can, to be honest. We want to keep it out. So that's not really much. Ferocious Guard is interesting, but it encourages a bit more passive of a playstyle than what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think Empowering Flight is going to be the play here. I need to remember I've got that Athena cast. It's probably not super great against a room full of numbskulls yet, but definitely something to keep in mind. And something that's really nice about the Athena cast versus other deflect things, actually, is that, you know, if you've got deflect on attack, you're putting out a lot of deflections, and that's great, but the individual deflections, they haven't got a lot of airtime, whereas because the Athena cast, it starts out slow and then accelerates. If you're just throwing it out in front of you, there's just a lot of time where there's this giant deflecting orb right in front of you, and if you're spamming them out, there's just kind of this really huge time window where there's just a constant deflection out there right in front of you. So I'd said the deflection in I said the deflection on Phalanx shot in a couple of videos ago. I said it was incidental. I don't think that's a fair assessment. After I've kind of thought about it a bit more and experimented with it more, I think it's very deliberate. So you're not just going to get, random deflections a lot of the time, but you can very deliberately get some very good deflections. So I guess it's kind of the exact opposite of incidental. It is, it's situational, but it feels like a very deliberate deflection opportunity, and I'm really into it for that purpose. We'll see if I can completely lock out Thanatos here. Oh god. I couldn't reach him. Alright. You win this one, Than. You get a kill. Or even two? Oh my god. No. Oh god, yeah, this Zeus on Blitz Disc is just so strong, and if I can get like double bolt and jolted and God forbid splitting bolt, the legendary, and a couple more poms, it's just going to be a really pretty disgusting time. But for the bad guys. But we do have the Furies coming up soon, and once we get there, you will see that it is a bit of a fiddly endeavour playing with Blitz Disc. Okay, Impending Doom, more damage, but plus 0.5 seconds to activate. That seems pretty reasonable. We're not really planning on using our attack too much, so making the Doom slower for a bunch more damage, that works for me. Would be nice, of course, if it was a higher rarity Doom, but, can't have everything. And I'd certainly trade that for our epic special Zeus in a heartbeat. Yeah, these Furies, they can be a little bit they can tend to stand still sometimes, but they can sometimes also be more mobile than you'd like, and they spend a lot of time with the shields up, so it's not just a matter of like placing the shield on him and shielding on them and waiting for them to die. Like, you might hope for something like Achilles, no, not Achilles, Theseus Phase 2, stuff like that. God, I wouldn't want to fight Achilles, that'd be miserable. He's my dad, I can't fight my dad. It's not intended to be a joke on the fact that you literally fight your dad at the end of this game, but there it is, I guess. Okay, so what do we actually need at this point? We've got an honestly pretty lovely duo triangle here. The Athena-Ares duo doesn't really excite us. In fact, we're not even eligible for the Athena-Ares duo, which I'm happy about because I don't want it enough. I'd rather not have it in the pool. Are there any other duos that we really need? Something like Cold Fusion for Zeus. No, because we're reapplying. We've got so much lightning. We don't really need the infinite jolted because we're just constantly reapplying. Aphrodite, I mean, you're always happy to see weak enemies, especially with some of the support boons on weak. So we could get Aphrodite on dash. Aphrodite and Zeus is pretty sweet. Aphrodite and Ares is kind of cool. We've got low damage on our Doom, but it would still be pretty cool. Yeah, let's grab Aphrodite. There's just a few juicy things there, and weak is just such a nice status to have available on the round. Happy to see that. Anything you want to sell to afford a Centaur Soul? I could sell this Impending Doom, but no. If we are actually going into Aphrodite and hoping for the Aphrodite Ares boon, we don't want to sell Impending Doom. The Aphrodite Ares boon is the one that makes weak Doom effects will continue to strike weak opponents, and having Impending Doom basically just gets you an extra effect, an extra strike on that. I believe the strikes are 50% damage, and typically it seemed like you just get time for one extra strike with a regular Doom, but with Impending Doom you get at least two. So yeah, Impending Doom, very important combination with that Aphrodite and Ares duo. Just messing around in Asphodel. These great big rooms are not too great for the kind of area control Let's Disc game plan, but they work well enough. Hermes we certainly wouldn't mind seeing. I'm pretty sure getting the special speed upgrade increases the pulse speed of our shield, which is really nice, but at the moment we want to land ourselves in Aphrodite and get ourselves live for more of those duos. But yeah, a little bit tighter quarters would certainly be a nicer place to be in. Fingers crossed for the Barge of Death, hey? Yeah, everyone's favourite Asphodel level. Well, apparently it's not everyone's favourite level, but it genuinely is my favourite Asphodel level. Okay, so Passion Dash I think is what we're looking for. Purple, can't complain about that. If we weren't getting offered Passion Dash, we might take Wave of Despair, given that we are hanging out for Vengeful Mood, but I'm going to take the bird in the hand in this case. Even though, you know, while applying weak is great, Passion Dash is certainly not one of the best dashes. The damage is fairly low, and it doesn't have any particular utility beyond applying the status. But just kind of keeping everyone weak, which is pretty much what you're getting from a dash, is you know, you're pretty fine with it. Okay, Darkness we can ignore. More Aphrodite I think we're fine with. Are we on? I can't remember if we've got the expensive shops heat effect on. We do not. Okay, that's good to know. This aspect tends to work pretty well against Mega Gorgon. She's quite slow. I'm taking a few hits there because I'm, you know, lazy, but you can see that fight went down pretty quick. Okay, longer duration on weak effects. So while we are getting a lot of applications with the dash, and I was just saying, oh yeah, you're getting weak and everything. To be honest, I would like to not have to worry about those you know, reapplications. So yeah, I'm going to take Empty Inside here. I'll keep my call open just in case I suddenly decide that there's someone else I really want a duo for. And Aphrodite Call is not really one that I'm ever that fond of. The charm effect on the call, on the uncharged call, is it's never seemed like it's long enough to be of any real use to me. I'm always just finding it frustrating. And then the fully charged effect with the, you know, 3500 damage or whatever it is, it's nice, but it's, you know, it's in the same kind of ballpark as most calls, and a lot of the time your calls are just going to be limited by the boss shielding anyway. So yeah, Aphrodite Dash, I'll take it, don't get me wrong, I won't not take it, but there's definitely a lot that I'll take first. Especially since it doesn't give you any kind of damage avoidance power. You know, something like Poseidon or Ares, you become impervious, or, you know, Athena, you become impervious. So it's really great for, you know, dodging those Ares big spin attacks that you know that you're not going to manage to get out of. Whereas with Aphrodite, you know, a charm that technically is damage mitigation, but it's not, you know, on-demand damage mitigation exactly. Here, I think we're going to fight Ares. Okay, Static Discharge. These are both boons that we would really like to see at higher rarity. Don't think High Voltage does that much for us. So which one would we rather make sure we have, and which one would we rather try and get at higher rarity? I think it's Static Discharge that we'd rather make sure we have, so we're getting that privileged status, and it's the Double Strike that we'd really like at higher rarity. So that's a much more kind of direct damage scaling there. A little bit of a fiddly room here, what with Ares' damage zones, but you can kind of see another one of the nice ways to use Blitz Disc is just kind of call it back and let it naturally pass through enemies that are between you and the disc. It's a lot easier to aim it that way than it is to aim it on the swing out, but the swing out obviously has the advantage of you don't need to position yourself exactly to put the disc where it needs to be. You can just send it where you want. They're both very useful, the out and the in. Okay, Diamond's Fortune, I don't think we're in. Blood Frenzy, I am happy to rep, but in this case, I think we're just going to fill out our call with Ares' Aid. I do like Ares' Aid. It gives you that impervious and does a decent amount of damage. And it also means that we're now live to get offered the Aphrodite Zeus automatic charging call effect, which means that we'll have a impervious effect on a very quick cooldown. I think we're pretty good for Poms at this point, so we're going to grab a shot and see what they have to offer us. Okay, we got Ares and Hermes, that's pretty nice. Fingers crossed for okay, no duos on Ares. Urge to Kill I don't like, it's not going to scale our lightning bolt damage, so I don't really care. Blood Frenzy or Vortex? Vortex definitely not. Blood Frenzy, again, I do like it, but since I am fishing for these duos, I'm actually going to hit the reroll and see what we can see. Okay, well, we fucked up. Didn't work out at all. And we're worse off than where we started. Battle Rage, your next attack or special deals more damage. Now, I don't know if this applies to the entire uptime of the special or just the next damage tick. I think I'm curious enough that I'll take it, even though my instincts are saying pick Urge to Kill. Hermes, on the other hand, Flurry Cast, like I was saying with the Athena cast before, you're kind of getting a benefit from that long deflect period uptime, so I don't think getting the cast out quicker is really something that excites me that much. I'm going to grab Quick Reload because I'm never unhappy to have Quick Reload. So with a fight like Lerny, where the enemy's hitbox is, at least for a time, stuck in one spot, you can kind of just, if you place it right, just kind of stick the Blitz Disc on top of the enemy, like you can see I've done there, and that's cleaning that guy up pretty quick. I'm going to use a Boldy here, not because I think we're really desperate for it, but we're going to need to use up our stacks at some point, and it's nice to get that gold sooner rather than later. It's a marginal advantage with deep pockets. And I just, you know, on the run that's going well, which this one is, I'm just, a lot of the time, just going to forget to use up all those charges. I'm going to use some of those deflects to clear out these projectiles. Pretty nice. I haven't really had the attention to test that Battle Rage thing, the multiplied damage in this fight, but I'll definitely see if I can give it a try once I get to Elysium. Actually, yeah, we can try it right now. We've got it up. Okay, so we're doing. Tell you what, so I think that actually is doing double damage for every tick, although I'm pretty sure it isn't doing double damage for our bolts. I'll just double check that. Yeah, definitely not doing double damage for our bolts, but it is doing double damage for every tick of the shield. So that's actually kind of interesting. You're technically getting, you know, quote-unquote infinite value out of that Battle Rage proc, because you keep getting that value out of the attack until you call it back, or until, you know, it fully returns to you and you reuse the special. So that's, I don't think it's important, but it's at the very least it's interesting. I think the only thing we're really interested in making Zeus better, so We're going to force Zeus, hopefully get some good rarity from him, and hopefully get some of those duos as well. But yeah, what we really want from him is not the duos, it's the high rarity double strike and a high rarity splitting bolt. I don't think Chaos is really what we're looking for in this run. We're not really in cast, and we're not really in, you know, raw damage. So I don't think anything that Chaos has to offer us is going to be a game changer. Okay, grab us a hammer. Not necessarily because I think we're going to get something that amazing from it, but I'm at the very least interested. And yeah, maybe they just give us Minotaur Rush, which is just absolutely busted on its own. Minotaur Rush gives your charge attack a power shot, but unlike the power shots in on the bow, which is something like you know, plus 20% or 50% damage or something, the Minotaur Rush power shot is plus 500% damage, or maybe it's 500% damage total. Okay. None of these, on the other hand, really excite us, so we're going to grab the one that kills armor, because even with no further support, armor killing boons are really nice. Like I said, Chaos doesn't excite us, we're just going to grab the Zeus. You know, I'm not completely opposed to taking a Chaos Gate, but really maxing out our Zeus potential is what we're looking for here. This room's really quite... oh, look at this. Okay, so we're getting Lightning Phalanx and the Smouldering Air. Honestly, the Blitz Disc seems to be pretty capable at wiping out groups as well as individuals, so we're going to leave Lightning Phalanx for, you know, maybe it gets offered to us later. We're going to take Smouldering Air. Okay, I don't think we're really aching for Poms, so we'll keep going for the money. Make sure we're using that Smouldering Air or our regular TFW sword situation. Now I am kind of wishing we'd taken that that Ares attack, just so, you know, we could have maximum Beyblade situation. Our cast is a Beyblade, our special is a Beyblade, and we are a Beyblade. I retweeted, I think, some fan art a couple days ago of Ares just doing a big gold Beyblade letter rip over Elysium with his blade rift. It was very amusing. Okay. Aphrodite, we got the boon we really wanted, which is Smouldering Air. The Aphrodite Ares boon would be nice, but I think next... Actually, we don't even have any revenge boons, so I don't know why we're thinking, oh yeah, we should try and get Vengeful Mood. Okay, in that case, we're going to take Aphrodite. It's an elite room, so better rarity, and Aphrodite will hopefully offer us the weak foes suffer more damage. Just going to place the Blitz Disc right on top of that guy. I don't remember if we're in middle management here. If we are, he'll be teleporting all around the room, which he is not, so I guess we must not be in middle management. Which is nice. It is frustrating when your Doom effects don't have enough damage to kill the little champion pods by itself. It's really nice if you can just do a charge attack through them, leave Doom on them all after having popped their armor, and let the Doom finish them off, but no such luck with a common Doom, I think. Sweet Surrender, that's exactly what we're looking for. More damage. And that's like a global increaser, so that's going to be increasing the damage of our Blitz Disc lightning procs as well, which I'm sure I don't need to tell you is exactly what we'd like to see. So yeah, given that really a large proportion of our damage is coming from that, it's not really that unlike a total 14% damage boost. Really all were... In fact, we're not currently rocking any percentage increases of damage, so that actually is a total 14% damage boost. Huh. I'll be damned. Well, I mean 14% on everything that's weak, which is hopefully everything since we've got it on our dash. And we've also got plus 10 seconds duration on it, which, yeah, I'm really glad we took now because, yeah, dash applications are, you know, fairly easy, but not having to worry about keeping it all up, especially now we've got that that damage bonus from it, really nice. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm very, very happy with how our builds ended up here, even if we don't end up with, you know, exactly what we're looking for with, you know, all the Zeus lightning bolt support. I'm very happy with how we've kind of put this together. Yeah, kind of run out of things to especially hunt for. I guess, you know, grabbing a revenge boon to get that vengeful mood would be nice. But yeah, really, I don't think we're really going for that at this point. I just think we're not close enough to it. We haven't had enough rolls at it. That's obviously a bit gambler's fallacy, but I just don't really see us getting vengeful mood at this point. So yeah, it's really just Zeus that we're looking for. Zeus and maybe, you know, a couple more Poms. So yeah, at this point I might consider taking Poms over a god that we don't care about. Which is pretty rare for me, especially on a run where I rock the Pom Blossom. I normally just love taking boons. Okay, no, I don't think we need to speak to Patroclus, even though he is our dear beloved friend and stepdad. I think we will grab the Centaur Heart. One thing that really bugs me about the Ares urge to kill, no, not urge to kill, Battle Rage, the thing that gives you the bonus damage on your next attack or special after you kill an enemy. It's actually basically impossible to use with the Shield Bull Rush, because when you trigger the Shield Bull Rush, it's always attack and then you charge the effect. It really bugs me. I guess technically you could like kill someone with that wind-up attack and then have it charge for the Bull Rush, but that's pretty implausible. We're a little bit worried about our health, so I'm going to grab an Eye of Lamia. Yeah, I think Hermes we're pretty happy to see. Getting... Oh, Mr. Fish, damn it. Getting one of those special speed boosts, even just the common one, would be a nice, tasty little multiplier to our damage. Other things we might want from Hermes are more dashes, as always. I think that's really all we're looking for, though. You know, I wouldn't turn down whatever the one is that gives you sturdy after dash. Anyone can make use of that, but yeah, those are really the two that we're looking for: more dashes or more special speed. Okay, so that's one of our like Battle Rage specials, so maybe I'll try and kind of keep it out and juke it through these guys. No, I think it's more trouble than it's worth. Probably not the fastest build in the world, but it's certainly putting out damage at a reasonable enough clip, and yeah, it's really fun, this kind of playstyle, I think. Plus one dash. I could reroll. I've got a lot of rerolls left. I could reroll for maybe looking for a higher rarity special speed, but I think we're just going to take the dash. 3 dashes is a lot more than 2 dashes in the Hades fight. It often means the difference between getting out of his spin attacks and not. Okay, so we've got the Lightning Phalanx. Oh geez, Billowing Strength though, that is an insane synergy considering we're getting a call every 15 seconds, so that's pretty much another bonus 20% damage, which again, since we were basically just in flat effects, is basically just a raw 20% damage increase. So yeah, sorry Lightning Phalanx to extremely disrespect you here, but it's going to be billowing strength now. A little bit low on health, so I think we'll just lay out Boldy early in this fight, just so we don't forget later. Okay. Throw out some of these just to do something with our time while he's spinning. Alright. Mysterious is a pretty mobile sort of fella, so we're definitely not getting the easiest time dealing damage with Blitz Disc, but I don't think we'll have too much of an issue. Now I need to remember to use that call. It's especially important now that we've taken that billowing strength. Man, it would just be incredible if we got a higher rarity on that, but 20% is still nothing to... still no slouch. But yeah, it's definitely runs like this are the absolute case study for why I'm always telling people don't disrespect Zeus, don't disrespect Ares. Flat damage numbers, they really do mean something. So yeah, ultimately, even if they're not going to be quite as linear, not going to be quite as you know, maybe max DPS as you might see on a raw damage, you know, crit sort of situation. They're just really effective regardless. I think I've been a little bit too fast and loose here with Theseus. I'm on what, 3 hit points yet with now with no Boldy, so we'll see if we can come out of this one alive. I'm gonna be a bit cagey with it. I'm worried he's going to do his... Ooh, yeah, exactly that thing is what I was about to say. But look, that's okay. We're not going to lose. We'll still beat Hades. No problem. That is my promise to you. Just a little bit of hurt to the pride is all. MB, it's the discs is just a little bit too slow to keep up with him. It seems like. I think if I had special speed, it wouldn't have been too slow. I don't know where the disc is gone. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just keep that planted on him. And yeah, no problem at all. Like I was saying, Theseus stage 2, when you got that Blitz Disc, you can just kind of leave him to die. Similar effect with the, if you've got decent damage on your Demeter cast, you can just kind of leave the damage to go into him and not really worry about anything. Vaguely tempted to take Zeus into Styx just to try and force good rarity on that double strike that we really want, but we're just going to we're going to play it safe. We're going to take the Lucky Tooth. We're going to make good decisions with our life. Definitely no need to purge any of that. So yeah, fingers crossed for a Zeus tunnel and maybe a Zeus in a shop as well. There's a Zeus in a shop. No Zeus tunnel. Interesting. Well, we'll take the money so we can afford the Zeus in a shop. Yeah, this is certainly where Fated Authority comes into its own. Fated Authority lets you put a lot of spin on Styx and get usually like. I think Fated Authority you can usually get away with getting 2 extra boons of the god that you really want if you come in with a bunch of it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that's certainly nice. Fated Authority is really good, but the flexibility that Fated Persuasion gives you, on top of the fact that, you know, I think it's just as helpful for your build as Fated Authority is, but that on top of the flexibility you get, and being able to use it with Styx and stuff like that, it just feels more reliable. I'd much prefer to use Fated Persuasion. These guys are kind of annoying. They're small and they move around a lot, so they're not great targets for the disc, especially in a big room like this. But you know, that's not to say they're especially threatening either. So he's got 4 charges on Persuasion, so we could theoretically re-roll that, Zeus Boon twice. If we really wanted to. We'll just have to see what he offers us. You know, it's entirely possible he could just offer us some bunk. He does have a little bit of bunk left in his pool. I don't think for instance, the God Gauge charge speed upgrade is going to do much for us at this point, and I've already said we're not really that interested in Lightning Bolt area of effect. Okay, may as well grab it now. I'm impatient and I want to know what we're getting. Lightning Phalanx again. Look, even though Lightning Phalanx and Heaven's Vengeance are both good, and Heaven's Vengeance would get us live for Vengeful Mood from Ares up at the tunnels, I'm actually going to hit the reroll. I want to... Okay, yeah, these are not what we're looking for. So yeah, we're going to do it one more time. I really want... I haven't already picked it, have I? No, yeah, I really want, though, that double strike. Okay, so here's rare double strike, which, you know, pretty nice. It's what we were looking for. Would have been nice to see purple, but not going to complain. Let's grab Aphrodite next. We've still got one reroll left. I'm not sure if there's anything that we're really looking to reroll for from Aphrodite, but we'll have to see what we get offered. Maybe we just get offered fuck all. If she offers the Revenge Boon, we would technically be live for Vengeful Mood in that Ares room, but getting a free use of the Aphrodite Revenge does not excite us. That is not a high damage Revenge like Ares or Zeus is. Another thing that would be really nice is getting a POM on our Jolted effect. Jolted responds really well to POMs, even at common rarity. So I think getting the first POM or 2 on our Jolted effect, considering how often we're going to be reapplying it with our Blitz Disc, I'd be very happy to see. Alright, and here is the sack. Okay, yeah, I think Broken Resolve is what we're looking for here. I think I'm probably just going to ignore the other tunnels, so I'm not worried about activating Vengeful Mood or anything. And I can afford a POM and a heart here, so we'll do that. Yeah, sure, 4 more damage on Flourish, why not? Actually, I think Billowing Strength was there. I really should have taken that. I should read things. I also need to make sure I'm actually using my call to be taking advantage of that Billowing Strength. I've been a bit lazy with it through the stick rooms. We'll see if I can have a bit more control over that in the boss fight. So yeah, hopefully you saw there. Yeah, I did it again. I'm just kind of putting out that Athena cast, and because it starts out so slow, you're just extruding a great big deflect zone for really quite some time in front of you. It's good stuff. Recommend it. And on top of that, it's basically like the most damaging cast in the game. In fact, I think it is the most damaging cast in the game, if you don't count like damage over time. Because I'm pretty sure Artemis averages to slightly lower. Is there a... Oh no, Crush Shot is the most damaging, and then Artemis, and then Athena, I think. But Athena is, yeah, not far behind. Really does a lot of damage. And I mean, it's in an AoE too. What the fuck's up with that? That's a Battle Rage Bliss Disc, which might be worth trying to preserve for a little bit. Oh, never mind. Oh my god, I'm not using my call at all. Ah, you numbskull. Could be having an extra 20% damage through all this. I guess the only thing that my plus, 20% to 10% whatever global damage brings aren't scaling off is each other, but I think that's acceptable. That's an acceptable compromise. One thing I don't quite understand is the interaction between phalanx shot and melee attacks. Deflecting in melee attacks in general is a confusing thing to me at the best of times, and when it comes to a projectile that deflects stuff, like, what is the relationship there? Presumably the projectile, like I've just seen having the projectile out there in the melee attack, is not necessarily going to make me not die to the melee attack, or not take damage to the melee attack, so yeah, I really cannot profess to understanding what on earth is going on there. But yeah, otherwise things going very smoothly here, very comfortable Hades fight. I might drop another Death Defiance, but you know, only because I'm in a very comfortable position here and I can just kind of grind into his meat however I want to. Yeah. Grind into his meat. Not sure what's going on there. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me. It's very had a great time showing you what I enjoy about the shield, and particularly Blitz Disc, which I think maybe doesn't get as much rap as the other aspects. So yeah, thanks very much for jumping on board.